Well, I watched the Game Awards last night, and if you follow me on Twitter, I have a 12-hour ban based on some of my responses to it. But overall, I will say the show was significantly less cringy than I had expected. Now, there was a fair amount of cringe, but, weird anti-vaping commercials, while they don't fit, I can see what they're trying to do. And people probably paid money for that, so I'm not going to hold it against Keeley to have some advertiser in there who's trying to get people out of vaping. I think Ethan probably did a better job with his H3 video maybe a couple years ago, but that's neither here nor there. There were plenty of woke t-shirts and woke looking people in the crowd, but overall, Keeley did a lot of good, I think. There's a lot to be excited about, from Crash Team Racing to the Outer Worlds trailer. That looked amazing. Far Cry 5 looks pretty good. The Last Campfire looked good. There's a lot of news around Poober going free to play. The Mortal Kombat trailer had me very excited until all of a sudden there was this weird soundtrack that totally killed it. I hope that's not in the game. There's other stuff. Rage 2. A lot of people were excited about Joker from Persona being in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, which dropped last night, and I know the servers had a lot of issues, but there's a few things worth talking about. Now, I'm not one to get overly hyped by trailers. I realized long ago that you're seeing the absolute best of a particular game, and it's better to weather your expectations, to just stay cool, friends. Stay cool. Don't pre-order anything, because we can see in the case of EA, which I'm going to follow up with in my 4 o'clock video today, when you pre-order stuff and then they don't get the sales they want and the game ends up on sale a week later, you could probably save a lot of money. Adding maps, and sure, the winners and the losers of the Game Awards were really no surprise to me. God Award-winning Game of the Year is probably a fine selection. It wouldn't have been the one I would have chosen, but that doesn't mean it is an amazing game. It was good to see it spread around. Of course, Red Dead Redemption 2 won just about every award they could. Although I thought the soundtrack, a lot of people misunderstood when I said that I didn't think it should have won the best soundtrack. That doesn't mean that it isn't excellent, which I think it is. But it's by far the not the best thing about that game. And there are a lot of other soundtracks out there that I think were a little bit more moving. But again, it was an exciting night, and I think I had more fun watching it and interacting with all of you on Twitter than I thought I would, so I appreciate that. And then somebody won Gamer of the Year, or E-Gamer of the Year, whatever the case may be, Best Esports Player. And I'd never heard of this person before. Sonic Fox. Apparently, he's a furry. Who cares? I don't care. Get on with your bad self. As long as it's not illegal, I legitimately couldn't care less. That's my official stance on furries, or anybody's weird kinks or anything like that. You do you. I don't care. I'm just here to play video games. But after he had accepted his speech, he said this.
Guess all I gotta really say is that I'm gay, black, a furry, pretty much everything a Republican hates, and the best esports player of the year, I guess. Thank you so much.
Ugh. Well, I'm happy for the dude, and maybe he's just, I don't know how old he is, 12 going on 8. I'm not entirely sure. But you are not as woke as you think you are, bud. In fact, you are everything you claim to be against. The fact that you would generalize all Republicans as having a problem with furries, which is absurd. You would generalize all Republicans as having a problem with black folks, which is also absurd. And you generalize Republicans as having a problem with gay folks, which is also absurd. In fact, you sound like a bigot to me, my friend. You seem to be generalizing all Republicans as some sort of monolith of hate. And you just ain't that woke, dude. And now, of course, left-wing games journalism is at it, turning this dude into a deity. But let's see how woke he really is. We see right after, damn, made a lot of right-wingers angry today. To all of them, all I have to say is, suck my effing D. Wow. Woke. And here he is retweeting Ian Miles Chong. Yeah, and you all ugly. LMFAO. Get the F out of my gaming circuit. Wow. The voice of a generation. If you don't see what I'm doing, then you aren't as intelligent as you think you are. I feel so powerful tonight. Well, Sonic Fox, sorry to tell you, but you ain't woke, dude. You are not as smart as you think you are. You aren't oppressed. You live in America, dude. You go on to say, y'all have literally oppressed me my whole life. Really? You just won an award for best esports player out there. You're on a stage getting applauded by everybody in the crowd. Nobody cares that you're black. Nobody cares that you're gay. And nobody cares that you are a furry until you put it out there as some sort of weird own of people. And you come out today saying, I feel like I made some sort of change yesterday. I don't know how to describe the feeling. I feel like I got a ton of new eyes on me, good or bad. Yeah, right. This is all about promoting yourself, Sonic Fox. You are not woke. You did nothing good for the furry community. You look like a selfish idiot up there, in my opinion. And by the way, if you're watching this, don't at the dude on Twitter. Let him have his stupid little victory. I mean, I appreciate, I'm happy for him. Don't send anything his way. He doesn't need any more ammo to just call random people who are criticizing him right wing. And of course, it couldn't go, by the time this morning rolled around. By the way, while he was giving his speech, the teleprompter was telling him to wrap it up. But, he's so hardcore. He's so woke that Nathan Grayson was like, man, yeah, he really stuck to those evil right-wingers. And again, the point is here for him to promote himself. I don't know if he's that smart. I doubt he is. But in this case, at 20 years old, I don't expect him to really understand much about the way the world works. But, and again, a lot of people will twist this into, oh, well, what's wrong, Jeremy? Do you have a problem with furries or gay folks or black folks? Of course not. Just like I don't have a problem with women in games. But I can notice that many of the games seem to have strong female protagonists at the Game Awards. Not that there's anything wrong with that. Just notice that. The problem is, and this is why we need 107 more backers today. If we hit 107 more backers today for exclusively games, which will be linked in the pinned comment below, we will be at 1,000, which is insane. But here we have a night celebrating video games, and this dude just could not help himself, right? And so I said this last night. What will be the primary narrative about the Game Awards now? Instead of it being amazing new trailers to talk about, the launch of Super Smash, Mortal Kombat, whatever your particular game is, it's going to be about this dude. Because far left activism masquerading as journalism controls the narrative. So you start looking around for the Game Awards and all you see is crap about how woke this dude is. Dominique McLean took the award for best esports player. Again, nobody even remembers that now. The 20-year-old full-time student and fighting game ace gave a candid acceptance speech. I really enjoy playing games competitively. Blah, 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 blah. Again, throughout the speech, he struggled, talked about giving money to... This is all good. This is all a good speech. But of course, that is not the narrative. It's him stealing the show. The title of this is literally Sonic Fox Steals the Show at the Game Awards. And that's exactly what it is. Just like politics always finds its way to steal the show in video games. That's why I'm starting the website I am. Look, I'm happy for this kid, but it really left a sour taste in my mouth and an otherwise, albeit cringy at times, pretty good show. So, Jeff, I think, you know what? As soon as my Twitter gets unbanned in 10 more hours, I'm going to publicly say that, look, I thought it was going to be real cringe fest, terrible, but it was actually pretty decent, and I had a good time watching it. I hope that he continues to improve it, continues to get away from in-your-face sponsorship stuff like he did a couple years ago as the Doritos Pope and the Schick Razor running around. Otherwise, a small thing. It's not going to ruin the whole show. There's a lot of things to be excited about at the Game Awards, and what I'm genuinely curious about is, what were you the most excited about? I don't know. I mean, the Obsidian game looks insane. There's at least 3 or 4 games that I think were really interesting. Far Cry looks like it's going to be pretty decent. The color scheme doesn't really appeal to me, but I'm also 35 years old, so I understand when things aren't made for me. So maybe I will play it if the story's good. I'm more of a story-first guy. That's why the Obsidian game looks so good. It looks strongly story-based. So I'm hopeful for 2019 in games. I've got a lot to cover with the Game Awards. Probably my top 5. I'll probably do a top 5 reveals and then top 5 worst reveals. I've got a lot to talk about it. So I look forward to hearing your comments in the comment section down below. And if you did enjoy the video, make sure you crush that thumbs up button. And I'll see you in just a few hours with another video. Hope you enjoyed.